Hey there, welcome back to Win Philly. This is episode number 20.
Yes.
20. I can't believe it. We made it here.
Wow.
And I'm so hungry. I don't know why.
We always hungry. I mean, so one day maybe we'll have an episode where we have some snacks.
We need to invite a chef. That's what we need.
That's a good one.
So they can prepare some food up in here. But anyways, I am Nakisha. And thank you for joining us.
Yes.
I am the owner of Hodge Studios in Philadelphia. And I'm also a photographer. I do portrait, I do weddings, and
Yes.
I am amazing. I'm just going to tell you.
Yep.
Straight from the door. And I have my lovely co-host here with me. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So if you don't think you're amazing, then how do you think other people, why would you think they're going to think you're amazing if you don't think you're amazing?
Too true.
Right? So I love that. So I'm Dr. Heather, and I'm the owner and operator of the Studio for Sexual Health, Wellness, and Education, Incorporated. And I am a psychotherapist and sexologist. And I absolutely love what I do. You can follow me, you can subscribe to my YouTube and IG and all of that. It will be on this, right? So go back, watch all of our episodes. This is episode 20, like Nakisha said. We have been having an absolute blast doing this.
So much fun.
Yes, trying to so besides the fun that we're having, we're really enjoying another aspect, which is growing closer as friends, because we're friends, but we don't see a lot. We only see each other when we do this.
Yeah.
Honestly, because we're busy, like we're trying to grow businesses.
Yes.
And have families and all the above. So in doing that, we have learned how to have better communication with each other, and we really want to go to dinner. We go to dinner in our head, you know.
We can just have dinner here.
It'll happen. So if you're watching and you own a restaurant
and you want to be on Win Philly,
hit us up in the comment. Let us know that you're a restaurant owner or a chef and you want us to come to your restaurant, and we could actually do an episode there.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
And then while we're eating.
I would be stuffing my face the whole time like, You would be doing the talking because I'm eating.
And I'm eating too. So I can eat and talk a little politely.
Not me.
So if you are a restaurant owner or a chef, please drop a comment. Let us know that you would love for us to come to your restaurant, cafe, do a Win Philly. We would love to do that. You don't have to be a female.
I think that would be so much fun to switch it up a little bit. Oh.
And go somewhere else. Yep.
We have some chicken.
Why do we love chicken so much? I love chicken. Chicken is like the best. So we are here today talking to you about healthy habits around being an entrepreneur. Just trying to give you some tips on how to stay in business, like how to stay above ground, and not drown in all of the negativity that's surrounding you sometimes.
Like your core habits.
Yeah. And something in our last episode, 19, Teresa said that people argue all day, and you know what? Sometimes in retail, in entrepreneurship, you are constantly on the phone with people trying to, navigate through different avenues around what you're doing and purchase things and talk to clients and have phone consultations.
And do all the things that you have to do when you wear so many hats as an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Yeah. I got a pretty big head, so I know I can wear a lot of hats.
I got a big head too. So I think we should start with, what do you think a healthy habit is?
Well, I'm going to tell you one of my core habits for being a healthy entrepreneur is, and I wrote about this on my blog. If you guys want to take a look, it's NikkiTakesOn.com. But one of my core habits is I get up at 5 a.m. Sometimes 5:30. I can't lie. But it's very early, and it's not for everyone. But I'll tell you why it works for me. Because number one, if you think about when you get up, most people, you have to, get started. It's kind of like you push the on button and you got to warm up. And so when I wake up early, I warm up earlier. So by, 7 o'clock, I'm on 100. I'm making my calls, I'm doing my emails, I know a lot of people see emails from me at 6:30 a.m. because I'm on. I start out with a little bit of meditation. I try to center myself and start my day because I know it's going to be a long day. I still work. I work a full-time job. So, you know, I'm doing that and I'm doing the stuff that I got to do for my business. So, you know, it's a very, very long day. So that's one of my core tips. I get up early.
I love that. So I can piggyback off of that because that's one of mine too. So we share that. That's why we are successful. So I call it my miracle morning because one of my, thank you, you know, one of my worries before I became an entrepreneur 100%, and I say that because I had a full-time job as well in behavioral health. It was just the corporate side. And I had to work all day. But when I left that, one of the worries that I had was, and you may have the same concern, am I going to be like lazy, sleeping all day? Like, am I gonna be on vacation mode all day and then I'm gonna fail because I'm not focused? So something that I did was create miracle mornings. And in the creating of Miracle Morning, I had to hold myself accountable though for this. So what I do every single week, so my week starts on Wednesdays, Wednesday to Tuesday, okay? I keep a log of everything that I need to do. It's probably about 15 to 20 things on this log. And then I rate myself. So then I get 80% is perfect for me. So I get like an 89%, 85%. So everything has a rating, has a yes or no beside it. Then I count it up, divide and multiply, and that's my percentage I get. So I hold myself accountable, and Miracle Mornings is one thing on my list. So I need to get up at least 6 days a week on my Miracle Mornings, even when I'm not, you know, I don't have clients because of all what Nakisha just said. You have phone calls to make, you have things to do, you have to make sure things are straight, you have to be your accountant too. So I get up at 7, not 5, and I do meditation and prayer every single morning.
Very important.
On my Miracle Morning. It's very important. It is, because it's my mental health. You know, it's my mindset, I should say. Your mindset matters. You got to grow yourself as you grow your business.
Yeah, so true. Oh my goodness. You know, a lot of companies are investing in bringing in someone to talk about mindfulness and mindset because it is so important. Everything up here really correlates into what you do with your hands, where you're going, how you're talking to people. It all starts up here. So you want to be, I call it the insane for the day, but your mindset, you want to be on 100 all the time. I mean, and I'm not perfect, but I try.
I don't try to be perfect because I know I will never be, because I want to make mistakes.
because you learn from them.
Well, because you learn from them, but I don't want people to think I don't make mistakes and then be like looking at me like, oh, you made a mistake. No, I'm gonna make mistakes, right? So I tell people, hey, now, you know. And then, you know, sometimes people, unfortunately, in our society, I feel like people put more on people that have more education. And that's not fair, right? So, and I say it's not fair because I don't do that to people. I look at everybody as equal. So because I have a PhD, I don't talk a certain way all the time, right? So I'm not like, and let me just tell you, let's all be clear that the circumference of the meeting that I'm in and surrounding people, no, okay? I don't talk that way all the time. So there are times that I need to talk a certain way, right? But there are times when I don't. So I think there are more times when I don't, to be honest with you.
Well, you cater to your audience. With that, can I just turn the air off right quick? I'm sorry. Because I want you to hear this. You keep talking.
As she turns the air off, I'm just going to say that I am the people's people. Like, because I have a PhD doesn't mean I can no longer use incorrect grammar or incorrect sentence structure. You know, that's fake. Like, that's fake because I don't believe in that. So if I don't believe in that, then hey, I'm not going to do it. You know, I speak the way I want to speak. And there are times that I have no choice but to speak properly because of my surroundings of where I am. But I don't always do that. And people have commented about that as when it comes to me. Like, you know, I can relate to you. You know, most people with their PhDs kind of put their nose up and are snooty and talk a certain way, and you can't relate. So I want everybody to be relatable. So that's all. And I think that's a tip. Just to be relatable. So as an entrepreneur, be relatable to your audience.
Yeah, know your audience.
Yep.
Know your audience for sure. So let's see. Another tip that I can say that I feel has made me really successful is being honest and upfront. So, for example, sometimes people they may ask you to do something, or like I'll say, Heather, can you do the show on this certain day? And I'm always honest and upfront. If I can't do something, I'm gonna say no. I don't like to give empty promises or just because I want to be a people pleaser. I try to be 100% upfront, like, no, I can't do your hair.
Right.
Because I know when it comes time for me to do your hair, I'm not going to want to do it because I have so many other things going on. So I always try to think about, you know, my time, the value of my time, if I can do something or if I can't do it. If I can, I'm just going to be honest and tell you, no, I can't do that.
Yep.
I know I get in trouble a lot because they're like, well, you need to do this. And I'm like, no, I can't come and get you.
I think that's self-care though.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I think self-care gets a bad rap because people say it's selfish, you know, but I don't think so when it comes to you always being selfless. You can't be selfless and not selfish, because how are you taking care of everybody else and not yourself?
Yes, true indeed.
You have no gas in the tank.
No gas, yes, and that's what self-care is.
Yep.
Self-care is going to the gas station and filling up. You have to self-care, which is another tip.
Yep.
You have to, you know, get your massages. You have to spend some time alone to reflect. You have to, you know, plan your vacations. You can't work all the time. You cannot work all the time. I tell my husband that. You have to plan time to get away and do nothing, because that's, you know, replenishing your mind.
I agree. So I'm going to piggyback off of that and say I think that is 100% true. Although I'm not on vacation mode, now that I'm an entrepreneur, I've been on vacation more than I've ever been on vacation, because I can. You know, because I'm putting in the hard work that it takes to grow your business to where I'm growing it. You know, and the things that I'm doing, you know, I just got hired as a consultant for somebody's business, which is part of what I do. You know, I consult for people in their businesses, another income, right? So I have been on like 11 different trips this year, and it's not even October yet.
I love it.
Right?
Yes.
So think about that. When I did my 9 to 5, I wasn't doing that. Because you couldn't. You know, but I am actually in a better, I'm doing way better than I was, you know, as far as my business is concerned. Think about it. Trips you can go on for as long as you want. I can do virtual
whenever you want.
And technology is wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm able to do virtual sessions. You know, when I go on vacation, the work don't stop. I go on the beach.
Working.
I'm like, oh, we got a 6 o'clock appointment. We in front of that computer doing our virtual session. So that's something that I think is great. A great tip: self-care.
Self-care for sure. That should have been number one.
No matter what it is, you know, some people don't like massages. Some people love them. I love them. But maybe you can like go to sleep, do a staycation. What do you think about staycations?
Oh, I love staycations. I do staycations all the time because I can't always afford to leave and go on vacation.
Me either.
So, you know, and I mean, you can do stuff for free. I love staycations.
Yes.
My family, we subscribe to that. Okay, I have another good one. So when you are an entrepreneur, you have to have wonderful high self-time or time management.
Oh gosh, yes.
Time management. That means less time on Instagram, less time on social media. I don't always answer my emails right away. You just can't. I schedule a time to answer my emails. So I normally answer my emails early in the morning when I wake up and before I go to bed, and I'll check them one time during the day. And, you know, if it's personal or something, you know, my mom or someone, they'll text me. But emails, no, 3 times, and I feel like that's kind of a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I think that's a lot.
But because I do, you know, for my work where they pay me, you know, I have to answer my emails. And then, you know, my personal business, I'm doing that at night. I'm making sure I get those emails done. You cannot run a business and not communicate.
I agree.
A lot of people, for instance, a lot of times right now we're renovating our home, and I'll get estimates, and the people, they'll come out, you spend your time, you come give me an estimate, and then I go to pay those people to do the work. Girl, they ain't answering the phone, they not answering the email. I'm like, I don't know how these people make money. How do you run a business? Because it's just not professional, in my opinion, and then it turns me off because I feel like I might give you a deposit and I'll never hear from you.
You know what is that? I think we need to have you on our show. I am so, like, I can't believe there's so many bad carpenters out there. Because I have not heard a good story, not one, of having somebody come in and remodel their home and come on time, do the work all the way to the end, and be great. Not one. So if you are an entrepreneur and you own your own business where you remodel homes, drop a comment below. Let us know, because we want you on, because I need to meet you. I hear horror stories and have heard them still all my life. I just heard it about one of my homegirls said, Heather, we couldn't even get the same person to put up drywall. We had 3 different people doing one wall because they would not come back. They were not coming to work. And I'm like, huh? Like, how does that happen?
I don't know how you run a business. Actually, I found someone and I'm never letting him go. He's like, he answers the phone. You know, I scheduled him. He showed up on time.
I heard that they don't answer the phone.
Girl, they don't answer the phone. For one job, when we were doing our bathroom, I had 3 people come out and give me an estimate. And I love the price this one guy gave me, and he just never answered the phone. I'm like, well, maybe he's so busy, but that's really unprofessional. And I think that if you're going to run a successful business that you want to scale, you might not always have to be the person going out giving the estimates. You could hire somebody because you got that much work, but you can't get nowhere if you don't return those phone calls and those emails. Communication.
I agree. Communication is really, really important. But you said something before that.
What?
Before you said communication.
Should we just
rewind the tape? So hopefully it'll come back to me. But I do agree that communication is important when you're running a business. So in my case,
answering the emails.
Answering emails, answering phones. So in my case, you know, people call because I have a website. They find me on all different platforms, right? So they'll call because I do free phone consultations, 20 minutes, free 20-minute phone consultations. And that's because I want to get to know your situation and if I can help you, right? And then if I can't help you, I'll refer you to someone else. And if I can, we'll schedule an appointment if that's something that you want to do. So but you got to know the phone is ringing. And that's why I have separate phones. People say, why do you have 2 phones? Well, because I need one for my business, because when I'm off, right? I'm not going to be looking at my personal and business on one phone. And I don't want to mix anything up because I'm a therapist and I have confidentiality, you know, and things need to be separate. So when the phone rings, I need to be available either to pick it up or call them back. So something that I learned, which did not happen overnight because so many telemarketers call, that is to call them back. So when I see a number that calls my business phone and I'm in a session and I can't pick up, what I do is call the number back. And let me tell you, I have been doing this for like 2 months. Those are people who are calling for sessions. Why aren't they leaving a voicemail? Because they're nervous.
Yeah, or some people don't like your voice like me. I never leave voicemails.
They're nervous. You know, people are calling me for an array of different issues and they're like, oh my gosh, can somebody hear this voicemail? I don't want to say what's really wrong. I'll just hang up. So when I call back, they're like, yeah, I was trying to find out if I can get an appointment. So, you know, it's like, so I say communication is important. Call people back.
Communication is everything. And I'm telling you, if you are one of those people that just maybe you're so busy you can't answer the phone. Get a virtual assistant. It's so inexpensive, but do not have a business where you are not returning people's calls. It's just, it won't last. I'm sorry. You're going to be doing your friends' houses forever. Okay? You need to be professional. I'm telling you. That's just
That's true. You do need to be professional. And I think being professional, maybe you can learn it. Because I'm still learning it.
Yeah.
Like, listen, professionalism comes in different packages and for different people, right? Because it depends on what you're doing and what you do.
Yeah.
Right?
What your business is.
Nakisha has her style, I have my style. And it may not be professional to some people, right? But we are learning that, hey, we have our style and this is professional for us. So if we want to represent ourselves the way we are in our business, for us, that's what we're doing. So maybe that person is not the person that needs to be working with us, right? So I think discernment in a way is a good tip.
Because everything ain't for everybody. That's true. And some people, I know for you this happens. For me, I do it a lot. For instance, I rent my studio here when I'm not here, and some people I'll tell them no. I'm like, no, I won't say no, I can't rent to you, but I'll say, oh, I'm booked that day. I'm just being honest. Because I don't want to be rude. You never want to be rude. But some people, I'm talking with them and I'm feeling their vibe and I'm not feeling their vibe.
Right.
And I'm not going to rent my studio to you because something's off.
Something's off.
And some people you just have to say no to. You don't have to take every single client or every guest. Some people you're going to have to say no.
I say no too.
I say no.
Yep.
Yeah.
I say, well, you know what? This doesn't seem like this is going to work for me. I'm going to refer you to somebody that specializes more in what is going on with you.
Yeah. And I think that's
I don't feel the
best.
vibe.
Yeah.
Yep. Because we got to build a relationship.
Yeah.
My client and I, the number one reason why people go back to therapy and are successful is the client-therapist relationship.
Yes.
That matters the most.
It could be years that you're involved with this person.
Yep.
And I just don't want to start a relationship with someone that I'm going to regret. Like, oh my gosh, they're such a pain in the ass.
That's good advice. Saying no. So. It's okay to say no.
It's okay
people.
to say no.
We're going to put that big on the screen. No.
It's okay to say no.
It is okay. All right. Because some people beat themselves up and they're like, oh, I should have. No. You got to think about what it is your goal is. Think about what you're trying to accomplish. Is it just to make money? Because if it's just to make money, then what's your, what do I call it? What's your ideal client, right? Who is your ideal client? If they're not it, then keep it moving. That's what you ultimately need to know.
And on that, you cannot be everything to everybody. Okay, everybody is not your client.
Exactly. Girl, high five on that.
High five. Everybody is not your client, okay? Sometimes it's not a fit for you. Right. It might be a fit for someone else, and if you have the ability to refer, then that's good. But everything is not for everybody. You should know your client.
Yep. Yes. I agree with that. Oh my
so
gosh.
I don't want to steal your topic because I know this is your favorite one.
No, this is good. I'm loving this conversation because I think we could talk about this for hours, right? This could be actually every episode.
Yes.
Because we have learned so much around things not to do, things to do. You know, another thing that's related to communication is when you have partnerships. So I think part of communication is reaching out to people, having meetups. This is why we're doing Win Philly, because we want you to know about other things and what's going on. And we want to reach out to other people, right? To see what's going on, to let you know, here it is, here's what we do. What do you do? Right. You know, so we can kind of blend and have each other's backs.
Network,
right? So that's part of communicating. Go to networking events in your neighborhood.
Or for your industry.
Or for your industry. You know, go online, research the people that are around you that are doing the same thing you want to do or are doing, and reach out to them. Don't think it as a competition. And I think that's where you go wrong, thinking you're in competition with people who are parallel to you in what you do. I think you can be support to one another and refer, because like Nakisha just said, every person is not your client. That's right.
That is true. So coming back to what you just said about not just referring people, but networking. So as a photographer, I meet a ton of photographers who come through these doors, right? And I never ever want to be the person that, you know, either feels competitive or makes someone else feel like I'm their competition. First of all, I know like I'm building a niche for myself. So I know my price points are a little bit higher. Everyone's not going to be able to afford the costs that I give them. And, you know, I know my costs. So my cost is not going down. But I know that there's a lot of people who can get the work that I don't necessarily take on. So I love meeting other photographers because I don't do children. I don't really want to do family portraits kind of things. So I like to refer that stuff out. For children, I feel like I have a child, she's 3 years old. I want someone to do her pictures who are the best at doing children portraits. I'm not the best at doing children, and I learned that. So guess what? Somebody asked me to take pictures of their children. I'm like, listen, let me refer you to someone who is really amazing at that, because that's not what I am. What I'm really amazing at is doing portraits for, you know, women, fashion, and weddings. That's what I can do amazing. Everything else, I'm going to try and support that community of photographers that I network and build with. And in return, they're going to think of me when they have, you know, someone comes to them and like, you know, I have this guy, he wants to do something really high end, you know, looks like art. Then they're going to send it to me. So I think it's really important to build your network. Let people know what it is that you do, and they will never feel like you're in competition. It'll be like, you know, a kind of synergy.
I think that's great advice. Just keep building your network and not be in competition, because that's going to be your downfall. If you're always in competition with everybody who's doing the same thing you are, that means you just aren't learning, because maybe they can teach you something about that, you know, and then you can refer to them, they can refer to you. I love that. So something else, my last tip that I kind of want to say and touch on is I'm trying to figure out how to say this.
She had the
please be mindful of mixing business and pleasure. Okay? I'm all about the pleasure, you know, and I have a partner for that, right? So that's what we do. We just pleasure up on each other. But what I want to say is that don't mix business and pleasure. Don't do that.
Well, explain to us what you mean by that.
Because people think sometimes women and men, I think both actually, and people who don't identify with the gender, I think we kind of just use our finesse, you know, we think we can get some stuff, and then it ends up not being that way. And we're like, well, wait a minute, I went to lunch with you. You know, I went to lunch with you and you were supposed to give me that dress for free, you know? So I think people have these thoughts in their head around, maybe I can get something. If I'm an entrepreneur and I don't have money, because we talked about this in one of our other episodes, you know, just starting with no money, right? So how do you get things? There's a way not to mix business and pleasure.
Like quick pro kind of thing?
Yeah, like so you can barter with people too, but that's not mixing business with pleasure. So let's say somebody you're attracted to comes around, but this person could potentially be really helpful in your business, but you mix pleasure, right? And then guess what?
Now you've ruined it.
It goes a different way. It goes a way that you thought it was going to go another way.
Right.
Because you brought in that pleasure, but it absolutely did not. Right? So just remember that what's not always, what is that? Shiny is
gold.
Gold, I think.
I don't know.
What's not always. Anyway, if you know the end of that,
all that
drop
glitters
a comment.
Is not gold.
Yes, there you go.
Thank God.
Put that in the comments and help us out here. But you know, I just think people do that sometimes. People mix business and pleasure when they should not. Keep it separate. you can do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually thought your last tip was going to be always be kind. That's what you.
Oh
always
yeah,
say.
yeah. It's we're gonna have another show about tips in our 30. So maybe our 40th. Like so every 20th we'll have more
Every
tips
20th.
because we're gonna learn another tips. So we're learning as we go.
Yes, we are learning as we go. And you know what? We have different entrepreneurs on this show because we learn from them. It's not that we're always like, well, you know, let me tell you this. It's share something so we can all grow together, I think. And
I actually know a chef too.
oh, thank God. Because
Yeah.
do you hear my stomach? It's talking.
No, I don't hear it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry. I was thinking of.
No, my stomach is talking.
I don't remember, but she owns Pretty Girls Can Cook.
Oh my gosh, please bring her here. I could just go for some banchan right now.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm so hungry.
Do you have any more tips? Eat. That's our tip.
Eat before you go on camera.
Yes. So, you know, we just really would like for you to drop comments, subscribe, watch all of our other episodes. We really thank you for coming and watching this 20th
Thank you
episode.
so much.
And being here with us and
Yeah.
growing in this with us.
Yeah.
We hope we are providing you with some good advice and good tips around entrepreneurship.
Thank you so much. I am Nakisha. I'm going to leave my links for all of those who want to find me online. I'm at www.nikkitakesOn.com, and that's with 1K. And Sex Dr. Heather.
Yep, so my hashtag, and I'm at Sex Dr. Heather, SEXDR Heather on IG, and go to my YouTube channel, which is Sex Dr. Heather, and go on my website, sexdrheather.com, and mosey on around and let me know how you think.
Your website is so beautiful.
Thank
She
you.
just redid her website.
Yes,
And
I
it
love
looks amazing.
I love it.
It's so nice.
Yes, this
Good for
woman
you.
named Madonna Archer did my website.
Madonna.
She's amazing. Thank you, Madonna.
Thank you.